A train pulls into the station. No announcement, no lights inside, no driver. The doors open. No one gets off. And yet, people swear they saw silhouettes inside, watching them. Then the doors close, and the train disappears into a tunnel that officially doesn't exist. Now here's the disturbing part. This isn't from a movie. Stories like this have been reported in subway systems all over the world. London, New York, Tokyo, Moscow, different cities, same patterns. As a historian, I've spent years studying what lies beneath cities, and I can tell you this: subways aren't just transportation systems. They are layers of forgotten history, carved through graves, ruins, war zones, and sometimes tragedy. And sometimes something gets left behind. Tonight, I'm taking you underground into the most haunted subway stations on Earth. But be warned, some of these stories repeat.
London's Underground is the oldest in the world, which means one thing: it wasn't built on empty land. It was carved through centuries of life and death. At Covent Garden Station, staff working night shifts follow a strict rule: never walk alone. Not because of crime, because of what they hear. Footsteps, perfectly synchronized, right behind them. One worker described it like this: you can feel it keeping your pace, like it's matching you. But the moment they stop, silence. Turn around, nothing. And then there's her, the figure they call the Black Nun. Witnesses describe a woman in dark clothing, face pale, eyes hollow, moving slowly along the platform, not interacting, not reacting, just searching. Legend says she lost her child centuries ago. But what unsettles workers isn't the story, it's the pattern. Because multiple people, decades apart, describe the exact same figure, same height, same movement, same empty stare, as if she never left. Deep beneath Manhattan lies a station frozen in time. City Hall Station, closed in 1945, beautiful, silent, forgotten. Except it's not empty. Train operators who pass through the loop late at night sometimes slow down, not because they have to, because they think they see something. People standing on the platform, perfectly still, wearing clothes from another era. At first, they assume it's a trick of light, until it happens again and again. One operator reported locking eyes with a figure and then watching it vanish the moment the train lights hit the platform. No movement, no running, just gone. And then there are the voices, not echoes, not noise, actual conversations, faint, layered, like a crowd that isn't there anymore, almost as if the station never accepted being abandoned.
Tokyo is precise, controlled, predictable, which is why this story is so disturbing. At Otemachi Station, maintenance workers started reporting something strange. Not sightings, something worse: consistency. Every time they walked through a certain tunnel, they heard footsteps behind them. Same rhythm, same distance, not closer, not farther, exactly matched. One worker tried to test it. He stopped suddenly. The footsteps stopped instantly. He turned around. Nothing. So he ran. And for the first time, the footsteps changed. They didn't get louder. They didn't get closer. They stayed exactly the same distance, as if, whatever it was, didn't need to catch him.
Moscow's metro is stunning, but during World War II, it became something else: a refuge.
Thousands lived underground during bombings. Some never came back up. And maybe they never left. Late-night workers have reported something chilling, a train entering the tunnel that isn't on any schedule. No radio signal, no record, no explanation. It appears briefly, dim lights inside, sometimes figures visible through the windows. And then it's gone. No sound of departure, no confirmation it was ever there. Just an empty tunnel. And one question, if it's not part of the system, where did it come from?
Paris sits on top of something most cities don't. Millions of bones. The catacombs stretch for miles beneath the streets, and in some places, they come dangerously close to the metro. At Denfert-Rochereau, workers have reported hearing something behind the walls. Not rats, not pipes. Something slower, deliberate, scratching, dragging, and sometimes whispers. Not loud, not clear, but close enough to feel like they're coming from just a few inches away. One worker quit after claiming he heard his name from inside the wall. There was no one else there, and no way for anyone to be. Paris sits on top of something most cities don't. Millions of bones. The catacombs stretch for miles beneath the streets, and in some places, they come dangerously close to the metro. At Denfert-Rochereau, workers have reported hearing something behind the walls. Not rats, not pipes. Something slower, deliberate, scratching, dragging, and sometimes whispers. Not loud, not clear, but close enough to feel like they're coming from just a few inches away. One worker quit after claiming he heard his name from inside the wall. There was no one else there, and no way for anyone to be.
Here's where it gets uncomfortable. You could say it's imagination, fatigue, darkness, echoes, and sometimes it is. But here's what doesn't fit that explanation. The repetition. Different people, different years, same details, same figures, same behaviors. Subways are built through history, through places that weren't meant to be disturbed. And underground, things don't change much. No sunlight, no weather, no natural decay of memory. If a place could hold on to something, this would be it.
So next time you're in a subway, don't just scroll your phone. Look around. Notice who's standing on the platform. Notice who isn't moving. Notice the reflections in the train windows, because sometimes you might see something that isn't behind you. And if you ever hear footsteps matching yours perfectly, don't stop walking.